So just gonna quickly go over some highlights and some things for Transamerica's got a new final expense. They still have the old final expense that's gonna be there. But the new final expense has a couple of different wrinkles to it that may allow you to get people coverage for level coverage that you may not be able to get coverage before. They also are doing a little bit more concierge, and I'll show you in a minute a brochure on that. And then when we get done, I'll send out all the links of that entire product. It's got all kinds of different things you can click on to learn more about it. But I just kind of want to go really quick. It's called Express Solution. It is now on CSG. It wasn't before, but it is. We'll look at CSG here in a minute, but it is slightly higher cost than the original Transamerica, but the underwriting is a lot less lenient than the original Transamerica. And there's a lot of really cool things about it. So just go over a little bit.
Is it more lenient?
More lenient or less lenient?
Oh, a lot more lenient. You'll see right here.
Okay, you said less, so.
Okay. But if you look at like right here, you know, a lot of conditions on the old one are, you know, it may have been like now you can get COPD, you know, cognitive disorder. Select means level, just so you know. When you're looking at select means that's level. Some of these before you may not be able to get. Coronary artery disease, you get select, even within 2 years. You can't get that on the old product. If you look at some of the other ones, you know, diabetic coma, you can still get select. Down syndrome, you can still get select. You know, DUI after 2 years, you can still get select. There's a lot of different things that you can get. A heart attack, you know, even in 12 months you can still get select. So it's going to allow you a lot of different things. Now, the neat thing is, and I'm just going to show you a little bit of this, and I'll show you the comparison between the two. They look at a single condition. They don't look at a condition if one does not have to do with the other one. Like in this situation here, age 75, somebody had COPD, and they had diabetes and Parkinson's. Not one has to do with the other. All of them were select conditions. So in the old product, they would look at those as more than one condition, and you wouldn't be able to get it. Here, you could get all these conditions entirely separate. One doesn't have to do the other one, so that hasn't made it worse, and it still could be a level benefit, which is pretty cool. I mean, somebody here, age 60, diabetes and neuropathy, emphysema, and lupus, can still get a level benefit. That's where it becomes a little bit different, so you're approved from day one coverage. Congestive heart failure. How hard is it to get somebody with congestive heart failure with day one coverage? Pretty darn hard. Congestive heart failure, and he has Parkinson's, depression, and Crohn's disease. This person's got a lot of stuff going on, but they get day one coverage. So it allows you, again, some other, again, they remove independent permitting. So, I mean, as long as they don't have to do with one or the other, you can get approved, which is pretty neat. So the old way said the one that you have, the old immediate solution, COPD and a stroke would normally be graded. COPD and a stroke now is level. You're looking at congestive heart failure and diabetes would be graded. You have congestive heart failure and diabetes, one doesn't have to do with the other, and still gets level. So it gives you a lot more options to get somebody on a level product that you may not thought could have got level before. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'll send this out so you can kind of look at it. But you know, congestive heart failure and stroke was a decline. Now you can get level. Pretty crazy. They still have some things that they you know, tobacco with oxygen, still not going to work. There's still some things they can't quite get over, but that's okay. Memory loss, they're looking at a case-by-case situation. Memory loss doesn't always mean a guaranteed issue. So again, it allows some different options to get out there. I'm going to go over the other. Let's see. It does have its own website to do an application. Now, the neat thing is, and I'm going to show you that in a minute, after I kind of do the comparison of these two, but there is a whole different website you have to go to actually enroll it. you can get the quote on CSG, but it's also got some neat things on the website to enroll it that you can do a practice and say, there's like 5 questions you can say answers to, and they'll tell you where they're gonna get it before you even apply. So it's kind of a neat little product with that. It'll show you right away when the policy gets issued. On your website, you can kind of track everything, see when it got delivered, when it got paid, everything else. So it really gives you a lot more enhancements from with the old one. You just got it issued and was done, or pending and issued and that was it. So it's a much better website for that. You can download the policy right from there, put that into your file, send it to your clients. So it's pretty neat. It does help you a little bit more on your bank account to make sure it is an approved bank account before you actually put it in there, which is great. It does have Social Security billing. So that's a good thing that you did keep that, because we're running out of places to go with Social Security billing. Alright, let me get off that and go to where, let's compare these. Alright, so if we look at the comparison, again, I'm going to send all this out to you, but if you look at the comparison, I'm going to look a little closer at that. It's easier on my screen than that. There is no paper application on this. Every application has to be digital. So it has to be electronic. So there is no paper. You do have the text and email signature options. So for those of you that are using the text signature, I love the text signature. I use it all the time with America. Text signature is great. It does allow that. Also the email. You do get instant decision every single time on the new product. Whereas the old product, sometimes you get it hours later, maybe the next day, or looking at underwriter. This is instant decision every single time. Issue ages change slightly. The old product is 0 to 85, the new product is 18 to 85. Not that big of a deal, but they don't have kids in that product. Everything is either non-tobacco or tobacco. There is no preferred standard. It's all one class. Makes it nice and easy. The old product, when you're 65 to 75 or 66 to 75, you can only get a maximum of 30,000. The new product, all the way to age 75, gets 50,000, but you can get up to 50,000, which is pretty neat. 76, 89, 25,000. The same riders are on there, except for you don't have the children's, grandchildren's rider on there, but instead you have the concierge planning rider, and we'll go over the concierge here in just a minute. But that allows you to create wills and some other things that are automatically built into the price of this product. So there's not an extra price for that. Again, everything's e-app, so instant decision. Now, you can customize face by up to underwriting. So this is interesting. I thought it was kind of neat. If somebody comes back and gets select, and you thought maybe graded, and you're applying for 25,000, and they get select, they'll say you can do up to 50,000. Here's the prices, so you can still be in the house with somebody and say, look, you've been approved. Do we want to get a little more? It's a little cheaper than we thought, and you can customize it and change it right there. So it's kind of neat. Before you even leave the house or anything else, you can help get a little bit bigger face amount for your client, especially if they've got approved cheaper than you thought it was going to be. Their concierge planning rider, it comes along with it. It is called Everest. It is a standalone product that goes along with that, with Transamerica. Again, all this will go out to you, but they give you a lot of different things for 24-hour assistance with the family, support needs if somebody passes away. It does have a lot of things that help create a will, helps you get a lot of different costs in order, so you know what's going to happen before you kind of get there. So all of this is built into it. So it allows you to put a plan together with your wishes. It's got like a 10-page that they can fill out with all the information, so it goes along with their product. So if they pass away, somebody knows exactly what their wishes are. Everest can be used any funeral home anywhere in the world, which is kind of neat. But it's really independent from Transamerica and from any funeral home, which is really neat. Again, I have the documents that are on this email that I will send out to everyone when we get done here. And it's pretty neat to kind of look up and look at the piece of paper. It's like a 12-page document. I wasn't going to go through the entire thing right now. I wanted to really kind of give you guys the highlights of why you want to do this and why it's good for your clients. Especially, you may have some people that you've gotten guaranteed this year graded before that you now can put into a level benefit. Yeah, John?
I have a client that I wrote with Transamerica and they got declined. Can I rewrite them with this? Is it
Yes,
completely separate?
it's a good question, but it is totally separate underwriting. Just because they were declined or graded over the immediate solution, you can't apply over here, it's totally separate. So one does not have to do with the other. So that's a good question to ask, John. But again, I would go through any of your people that you had to get guaranteed issue. In the recent, I would look, you may be able to get non-guaranteed issue over here. And be able to give them more benefit or less money. Good.
Do they, have a bill chart as well?
There is a bill chart on it.
Is it the same as the other one?
No, everything I'm gonna send to you, you have a full underwriting guide that I'll send to you, but the bill chart is separate. I will send out. Yeah, it goes right there. But anyway, yes, there is a whole separate bill chart, a whole separate underwriting guide.
Okay.
But I will send that out. It's essentially gonna have about 12 different links that you can click on, will take you right to it. And then you can download, do what you want to do with that. But it's got different brochures, comparing the old product to the new product. It's got the Everest on there. It's got client brochures you can send, so you don't have to go look through Transamerica to find it. It's all on this email I'm gonna send to you. So it makes it nice and easy. And again, once you get through, let's go back. You do have to go to a separate area. So if you go log into Transamerica, any of you have done Transamerica recently, you log into your advisor site. Right on the very left-hand side says Transamerica FE Express Solutions. So that's where you go. So you go over there, it takes you into this page. This page has 3 different tools, all on the right-hand side. One says get quote. Very simple. What are you looking for? Male, female, date of birth. And what state? And it'll go through and tell you, out for 10,000, there's how much it'll be. You have a premium, you can put a premium in there, you can put a face amount, whatever you want. It'll come up and you can start the application right from there. That's if you hadn't already done the quote. Pre-qualification. This is what I was talking about before. You can go to your pre-qual. If you have somebody you hit grade before and you wanted to see if maybe you can get them in here, you can do a pre-qual yourself. So again, we're going to look at the height and weight. So let's say we have 5'7", 235 pounds. Are you currently being treated or diagnosed with any of these conditions? Pretty simple and straightforward. Let's say we'll take one with diabetes because that happens quite a bit. And let's say we also had, what's one of them? The respiratory disorder. Normally that would be a graded definitely on the old product. Then it says, are you in the hospital, hospice, or assisted living? Are you an advisor planning to have surgery requiring general anesthesia? Obviously, if you have one coming up or not. Have you been diagnosed with terminal illness in the next year? Are you being treated for alcoholism, alcohol abuse, or drug abuse, or the felonies and the parole? So if you say no to that, not a tobacco, we can check eligibility. This applicant pre-qualified for level. With the diabetes and with the COPD or lung condition, no problem level. So that's how quickly you can get a pre-qualification. If that fits for you, then you definitely can go on to the next part, which would be going right to the application. Very simple. You can get everything on there and do your application, and you're good to go. It's obviously going to ask your state of residence, your number, and you go, are you in person or on the phone, virtual? Very simple, nice, easy application to kind of get going. It'll kind of get you there, and it's not a very long application. It takes about 10 minutes you know, Transamerica the last couple of years has been pretty good on getting a lot of the information over there pretty quickly. If you ever typed in an app recently, they'll pull out people's social security numbers and phone numbers and email addresses and everything. So they get things pretty quickly on there. So it's a nice, easy solution. There is, what did I put it here? See if I can find that. This is actually pretty cool. Thought I hit up there, but I hit enough links. Okay. One of them here is an actual application. Now they don't do a paper application, but I thought this was kind of neat. So if you kind of want to have one with you, or you sit in front of somebody, it kind of shows you coverage. Anything in coverage 2 is answered yes, would be a decline. Obviously anything on B, are you bedridden, in a hospital, hospice, decline. Kind of goes down here and shows you anything, it will tell you in the last 2 years, but it gives you kind of a nice little medical history of telling you where to be select, graded, not graded. But I think it makes it fairly simple. So you're sitting with somebody and somebody says, yeah, I do have congestive heart failure. You can look at it, okay, that looks like that may be okay. You can look at the other conditions, everything looks to be okay. Put them in for a little quick pre-qualification. Everything still comes back to select, great, I can go ahead and apply for it. So I think it's kind of a neat little tool to have with you. You think you're going to want to be able to write this product. I think the product's going to fit a lot of people in there, especially with the Everest that comes with it. I think that's a pretty powerful thing to be able to include. A simple will. Because how many times do you go to somebody's house, they don't have a will or anything prepared at all, they haven't done anything to really get ready. So I think it's nice to have that go along with it. And then of course everybody's always going to ask, how does the pricing come out compared to everything else? Why can't move it? It's the web link. It is going to be just a little bit higher, but it's not too much higher. But because you're getting some coverages you can't normally get from other carriers. Let's keep a 65-year-old. So I just put in a nice $15,000 product for somebody 65-year-old female. You see Transamerica immediate solution comes out to $72. On this one you do have a few more that are into 69s, but the express solution comes out to 75. So for $3 more a month, you may be able to get somebody that on a level benefit that they couldn't get before, and they automatically get the Everest and the extra package with it, with your will and everything else, all in one. To me, it's a pretty good solution. You also going to get immediate approval or denial or graded right there on site, so you don't have to walk away and guess, hey, has that been done or not. I like that it gets the express solution right on site, because then if somebody else has a product that they had that was guaranteed this year graded before, you can call and cancel that right away because you know you've already got a policy issued while you're in the house. So to me, that's a pretty good solution. You walk away, you don't have to go back a second time to go ahead and call the other company and help them cancel that. So again, you're doing everything in one step. You're also giving them some better benefits than what they currently have. And if they were graded or guaranteed, now they have something that they don't have a 2-year waiting period. So to me, that's kind of a win-win situation. Any questions?
So you said they called the company and canceled the policy for you, or?
No.
Oh,
No.
That's never a thing.
Oh,
Like,
that's
yeah, that's never a thing.
So, Skylar's got one. No, I just think I think it's an upgrade to what they currently have. And for a couple of dollars more, you get better benefit. And if you can take away the waiting periods, then you're obviously giving your client better benefit. And if you can take away the waiting periods, more than likely, you're going to be cheaper
Gerber, and they're $18 cheaper in immediate coverage.
Yeah, on immediate coverage. They're always gonna beat a graded or guaranteed, pretty much every time. But what I was trying to show is that they're only $3 more than their immediate solution,
That's standard,
on standard.
on standard, yeah.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
Right, but if you have somebody with congestive heart failure
Yeah.
and diabetes,
apples and oranges.
they weren't getting it there, so now you're kind of looking at, it just gives you a better opportunity to get a level benefit in a house where they may not have got it before, or they just called Mutual of Omaha or somebody else before and got the guaranteed one because they didn't know any better over the phone, and you're sitting in a house and you're looking at a guaranteed product, you're like, well, I can't beat another guaranteed. Well, how about looking at a non-guaranteed? You get something without the waiting periods, I guarantee you're gonna be here or there. And now, it's a great place to find, Norman talks all the time about getting referrals. That's a great place to get referrals. Great, I was able to give you a level benefit when before you had a 2-year waiting period. And by the way, we're saving you a bunch of money or giving you an extra $5,000 of coverage. If you know somebody else I can help do that. And so I think right there would give you a nice segue into getting referrals pretty easy. I mean, you get somebody coverage they couldn't get before, it's pretty cool. And I don't know of a company besides this that with congestive heart failure, you can get level. So I think that's pretty cool.
I think it's a big opportunity to go back and look at your Gerbers.
I think 100%. I actually think, I know a couple in my head right now that I'm gonna kind of look at and see. But you 100% can go back to your Gerbers, if you did any American Generals guaranteed, any of these products you had before, pretty big opportunity. So I would definitely look at it. Anybody else? Alright.
They're all
Thanks,
day
Scott.
one. They're all day one.
Well, the select is day one. They do have graded and guaranteed, but they will tell you right then if you get select or graded or guaranteed. But the select is day one coverage, yes. Yep. Alright, thanks guys.